Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a world news flash. Today's date, September 29, 2024, time in Texas, about 11 a.m. We have war, and rumors of war. Some of the things I'll cover. The U.S. military is taking down Iranian proxies in Syria. Nasrallah is dead. Hezbollah gives a formal declaration of war against Israel. Israel last night began their ground invasion into Lebanon. And in Ukraine, Russia takes out F-16s and U.S. active duty military, U.S. Air Force pilots. So let's get started. Yesterday, Saturday, Friday, I was covering what's going on in Israel and Lebanon. We now know that Benjamin Netanyahu in New York City for a UN meeting from his hotel room gave the direct order for the attacks upon Lebanon. We initially had reports that the leader of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, was dead, but then I had intel from Judge Napolitano's interview with Ray McGovern, former CIA, that Nasrallah was safe. And then later on Friday, Israel launched additional 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs. I believe it was 7 more on Beirut, the capital of Lebanon. It then came out later that Nasrallah was dead. We understand today, this morning. His body was recovered intact under 40 meters of rubble. It's believed he was killed not from an explosion, but from the shock wave from the bunker buster bombs. So later today, Nasrallah will be buried. Last night, Hezbollah in Lebanon gave a formal declaration of war against Israel. So we have that going on. And now we have this from Jerusalem Post. Nasrallah assassination try unconfirmed. That was an earlier report. And the death of Nasrallah risk a broader conflict, and that's shaping up for today. It could lead to a regional shakeup or escalation, and that's what's happening. And will change the rules of engagement. The IDF is on the border of Lebanon. That was last night with 2 infantry brigades. And currently Israel, that was yesterday, is reinforcing Judea and Samaria. And it's believed they will invade Lebanon. That is going on. We have this. Late last night, the supreme leader of Iran, Khamenei, is under heavy guard. Israel has said they also want to kill Khamenei, and he has been moved to a secure location. This is seen as a prelude to Iran versus Israel, which is occurring today. Israel has hit Lebanon. They initially hit Beirut, Lebanon with 4 2,000-pound bunker busters, and then later in the afternoon on 9/27 launched 7 more bombs against Lebanon. Hal Turner later on September 28th confirmed Nasrallah was killed. Hezbollah makes the announcement on 9/28. That was yesterday. Now we have this. Late yesterday, Germany, and I believe the U.S., is also evacuating diplomats and families from both Israel and Lebanon. It's believed that last night, 9:28, Israel will launch their ground invasion, which they did do. Now, on 9/27, Bibi Netanyahu was addressing the UN in New York City when allegedly it came out that Israel was bombing Beirut on 9/27, Friday. Bibi rushed back to Israel. Now it's come out with video and pictures that Bibi Netanyahu, in his hotel room in New York City, gave the direct order for the attack on Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, on Friday, with the order to kill the Hezbollah leader, Nasrallah. So that's going on. So then yesterday, Germany and the U.S. began evacuating diplomats and families from Israel and Lebanon. Israel last night launched a ground invasion, and last night, about 9 p.m., Hezbollah gave a formal declaration of war, and yesterday, Iran raises the black flag of mourning. And Israel yesterday said their next target was Khamenei, the leader of Iran. And now this is going on. Hezbollah's new leader, Hezbollah yesterday replaced Nasrallah, their leader that they declared yesterday had been killed. And they replaced Nasrallah with his number 2 guy, Hashim Safadine. He was the number 2 guy to Nasrallah, the money guy. And the Hezbollah plan yesterday is to give a formal declaration of war, which will include proxies for Hezbollah. Israel now has a plan to also kill Hashim Safadine. Also last night, 9/28, Iran communicated with U.S. mediators and told the U.S. that Iran would launch the largest response in history against Israel. Iran's war plan against Israel now is to destroy Israel. So then, last night, U.S. military began taking out Iranian proxies located in Syria. They made 2 strikes, including Deir ez-Zor location. Now we have this today, 9/29. The body of Nasrallah has been recovered, and burial for him today. And now we have this. Yes. So let's go over this again. Friday, Israel launched 11 2,000-pound bunker busters on Beirut, Lebanon, and killed the Hezbollah leader Nasrallah. Bibi Netanyahu gave the order direct from his hotel in New York City. And then Nasrallah's body has been recovered. Hezbollah last night gave a formal declaration of war, and also last night Israel began a ground invasion into Lebanon. Now it's believed the U.S. military, their position is to protect Israel, like missiles coming into Israel, the U.S. would block. And supposedly the U.S. will not engage in direct invasion into Lebanon or Syria or Iran. So that's what we're hearing. Now we have this coming out from Ukraine that in the past 2 to 3 days, Russia has launched attacks on Lviv and a location near Vinnytsia, near Moldova, and that Russia has destroyed to date 7 to 8 F-16s, and from Wednesday through Friday, Russia also killed 6 current active duty U.S. Air Force pilots who were in Ukraine to fly the F-16s. So that's going on. Russia launched hypersonic Kinzhal missiles on 2 locations in Ukraine to take out the F-16s and also kill active duty U.S. Air Force pilots. And from north of Moscow, Russia has launched military satellites. So that's going on. Now we have this. Bibi Netanyahu spoke to the UN on Friday. We have Stephen Bannon, a former CIA, now has a ministry via his YouTube, Israeli News Live, deciphering some things that Bibi Netanyahu said. I listened to the UN address by Bibi Netanyahu and also Erdogan from Turkey. Now, Bibi talked about the UN as being a house of darkness. Stephen Bannon is interpreting this to mean a war between the sons of light and the sons of darkness, to include global wars based on religion, pitting Christians, Jews, and Islam worshippers against one another. And Bibi Netanyahu also talked about being anti-Semitic is like the Flat Earth Society. Stephen Bannon interprets this reference to Flat Earth to be a reference to Zionism and to reveal crimes and sins of Zionism. The attacks on Beirut, Lebanon, killed 500 civilians, including 50 children. So that happened. And we see Israel now launching into a war against Lebanon that will likely become a regional war, and it's believed against Israel will come Syria, Iraq, Iran, and other nations, possibly Turkey. And we had from the Houthis in Yemen an attack, an attempt on Bibi Netanyahu on his plane as it came into Tel Aviv Friday, but the Houthis' missile missed. The Houthis also have put a missile down in Jordan to take out the airstrips in Jordan. Earlier, Jordan had joined with the U.S., France, and UK to defend Israel against the Iran's retaliation attack against Israel several months ago. Now the Houthis are taking out the airstrips in Jordan. However, I believe it's unlikely that Jordan will defend Israel. Several weeks ago, it's been being reported that the entire government of Jordan resigned, isolating the king of Jordan. It appears the king of Jordan is no longer supported by his government nor by a majority of his people who want to join with Iran in attacking Israel. So that's going on. So this concludes my flash. We need to be in prayer for the U.S. military and for America, and to pray for world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.